If you look younger than your age, it means there's something inside of you the world hasn't been able to touch. It means time knocked on your door, but your spirit never answered. See, people get it twisted. They think looking young is all about skin, about wrinkle creams, gym routines, and clean eating. And sure, that plays a part. But I've seen people eat all the right foods, take all the right supplements, and still look worn down because what they're carrying on the inside is heavier than anything they can lift on the outside. Looking young, truly young, isn't about age. It's about aliveness. It's about that spark that refuses to dim. It's about the way you walk into a room like you still have dreams left to chase. It's the way you laugh like life still excites you. It's how you love like your heart hasn't given up. I once met a man at a charity event in Harlem. He was 68, looked 45, sharp suit, brighter smile. I asked him how he did it. He looked me dead in the eye and said, "I never let the world tell me how old I'm supposed to feel." That hit me. Because that man understood something. Your soul has no birth certificate. Your joy, your curiosity, your fire, they don't age unless you let them. So when someone tells you you look young for your age, they're not just complimenting your features. They're witnessing your spirit refusing to surrender. And that right there is sacred. That's strength disguised as softness. That's resilience wrapped in grace. That's God showing off through you. So keep shining. Not because the mirror says you look good, but because your energy makes people pause. Because your presence makes time slow down. Looking young isn't just how you look, it's how you live. Let me tell you something. Your mindset will take you places your makeup never could. The truth is, you can spend a fortune on serums, powders, lasers, and filters, but if your spirit's tired, if your mind is heavy, it's going to show. Because no amount of highlight can cover up a heart that's dimmed its own light. I've met people who were beautiful on the outside, but every word out their mouth was bitterness. Every glance was guarded. Every step was like they were dragging chains behind them. And I've met others, folks with wrinkles deep as rivers, laugh lines earned through decades of joy and pain. And when they spoke, the room lit up. That's not just beauty, that's freedom. That's mindset. See, when your mind is right, your energy shifts. You move differently. You walk with intention, not insecurity. You speak with peace, not pressure. You laugh with your whole chest, not just your lips. That kind of energy, it makes you ageless. It's the difference between someone who's living and someone who's simply aging. I remember watching my grandmother in her kitchen, humming gospel while stirring a pot of collard greens. She didn't have a wrinkle cream. She had peace. She didn't wear concealer. She wore purpose. She lived her life with joy on her tongue and scripture in her heart. And that mindset, it made her glow. She looked younger at 80 than some folks I've seen at 40. Because she didn't let the world age her soul. So if you want to stay young, work on your mind. Speak kindly to yourself and to others. Forgive quickly, love deeply, laugh often. Feed your mind better than you feed your face, because what's in your head and your heart will always show up in your reflection. It's not the mirror that matters, it's the message you tell yourself when nobody's around. And if that message is rooted in gratitude, in growth, in grace, well, that's more powerful than any facelift. That's the kind of mindset that makes time slow down when you walk in. That's what keeps you truly, deeply young. When you live with purpose, something happens. Time starts respecting you. It doesn't chase you the same way. It slows down just enough to let you work. See, when you've got something to live for, something that gets your heart beating faster than fear, you don't just wake up, you rise. You don't just survive, you serve. Purpose becomes the reason you stay young, because it gives you a reason to keep going. I've seen people step into their calling and you'd swear they aged backwards, like life injected them with fresh air and fire all at once. And that's not magic. That's mission. Purpose is preservation. It gives structure to your days, clarity to your choices, and power to your presence. When you know why you're here, you stop wasting time trying to look the part and start being the part. I remember when I first got serious about acting, not just as a job, but as a calling. Suddenly, every role wasn't just a paycheck, it was a responsibility, a message, a ministry. That shift in perspective, it made me sharper, more alive. That's what purpose does. It gives your life edges, keeps you awake, makes your soul pay attention. Because when you live without purpose, the days blur, you drift, you age faster, not just in body, but in spirit. But when you've got a mission, you've got momentum. You're fueled by something bigger than applause, something deeper than status. And that kind of fuel, it don't burn out easy. Purpose doesn't just preserve you, it protects you from distractions, from doubt, from despair. It keeps your eyes focused, your back straight, your soul clean. And the more you walk in it, the more people start to notice something about you they can't quite name. They say, "You're glowing." They say, "You don't seem stressed." What they're really seeing is someone who's aligned. So when people say you look younger than your age, maybe it's not just good genes. It's good work, the kind that feeds your spirit. the kind that keeps your heart young. Purpose doesn't just make you look alive, it makes you feel alive every single day. Let's be real. Just because someone looks young doesn't mean they haven't been through it. In fact, sometimes the people who shine the brightest are the ones who've been through the darkest storms. That glow you see, that's not luck. That's not just good living. That's refinement. That's pain that didn't destroy them. It polished them. See, life has a way of putting pressure on us. And pressure, when it hits the right soul, doesn't just crush, it creates diamonds. That youthful spark people talk about, the one they can't quite explain. It often comes from surviving things that should have left you bitter, broken, and buried. But you didn't just survive, you grew. I know people walking around right now smiling like they've never been hurt, when behind that smile is a history of heartbreak, of setbacks, of battles no one clapped for. They don't carry their pain like baggage. They carry it like a badge. And that's the difference. That's why they shine. I think about my own life. The nights I didn't know if I was going to make it, the moments I failed, the times I questioned if I was even walking the right path, and yet here I stand. Not untouched, not unscarred, but unshaken. That fire didn't consume me, it cured me. There's something powerful about someone who's been through something and still chooses joy, still chooses kindness, still chooses hope. You think that doesn't show up on their face, on their energy, and the way they enter a room? Oh, it does. Because pain, when transformed, becomes presence. It becomes peace. And that peace, it radiates. So when you see someone who looks younger than their age, don't assume they've had it easy. Chances are they've seen things that would age most folks in a heartbeat. But instead of letting that pain drag them down, they let it teach them, shape them, elevate them. The truth is, pain is unavoidable. But how you carry it, how you let it refine you instead of define you, that's where the miracle is. That's where the youth lives. Not in denying the struggle, but in choosing to rise anyway. In choosing to live, not just exist after the fire. If you've been blessed to carry youth on your face and your walk and your voice, and don't take that lightly, that glow isn't just a gift, it's a responsibility. Because whether you know it or not, someone's watching you. Someone's looking at how you move through this life, wondering how you still laugh, like you just discovered joy, how you still dream, like time's on your side, how you still believe, even after all the years, all the losses, all the lessons, that kind of light. It's not meant to be hidden. It's meant to guide, to inspire. You don't just look young so you can post better selfies. You look young because there's a mission tied to your energy. There's still something in you the world needs to see. And if you're still shining, then you're not done giving. You ever walk into a room and feel someone's spirit before they even speak? That's what I'm talking about. That's impact without effort. That's presence. And when that presence is wrapped in youthful energy, when your soul says, I still got more to do, more to give, more to be, then you become a light for others stumbling through their own shadows. Looking young isn't just for you to enjoy, it's for others to learn from. Because when people see someone thriving with grace, laughing with peace, walking in purpose, they start to believe that it's possible for them too. And they start to believe that it's possible for them too. That maybe life doesn't have to drain them. That maybe getting older doesn't mean getting less. It means becoming more. So don't just sit on that glow. Don't dim your light to blend in. Use your energy to pull others into the sunlight. Speak life into people. Be an example of what's possible when you take care of your spirit more than your surface. Because if you look younger than your age, that's not an accident. It's alignment. That's your creator telling you, I'm not done with you yet. There's still music in your bones, still stories in your steps, still purpose in your breath. Don't waste it. Don't hide it. Live in a way that makes your youthfulness contagious. Let people feel your fire. Let them remember your light. Because in this world, people need more than good looks. They need hope. And if you've got it in you, then you've got work to do.